dreams. What a topic.
Oh, it's
so
wonderful.
Broad.
Yep. It's something that humans have been discussing for centuries.
Yes. And how does dreaming link to psychology in the first place?
Yeah, look, it's really got to do with the unconscious. That's how it started with regards to psychoanalysis anyway, through Freud and a guy called Carl Jung, who developed a theory on dreams, a serious theory on dreams, really. And since then, psychology has always been interested in it. Of course, in philosophy, it's always been a topic since the ancient Greeks, of course, with Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes right back.
Yeah. It's something that's amazing, very, very intriguing. And in those times, they thought that it was a way of the gods contacting us and asking us to do something, or entering our lives through our soul. So it started from there, really. And then Aristotle himself devised a little theory, if you like, with dreaming, and he felt that it started identifying the human being with a sense of hope in a way, and that's how we use the word today when we're dreamers and when we dream of something
that's true, isn't it? It's very positive.
Yeah, well, Aristotle said hope is a waking dream. And from then on, in Western thought especially, we use dreaming as quite a positive thing, something to look forward to, a goal in life, a fantasy that could come true.
We dream it into reality.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. And so also, how do we know if we're asleep or awake?
That's an ancient question.
Are we dreaming now or are we awake?
Yeah, that's a lovely question, isn't it? I mean, as adolescents, we used to ask ourselves those things, but great minds have asked themselves that too. There's a guy called René Descartes from the 1600s who decided to dismantle philosophy and get back to zero again.
How did he do that?
He just sat in a room with a candle.
Okay, it's sort of like meditating.
For a long time, and thought, hang on, I can't prove anything. I can't even prove whether this is really a dream or not.
Yeah.
Because our senses, when we're dreaming, tells us that it's true. How's that so different to the waking life?
That's true.
And so he came pretty much to the conclusion that the only way that we know that we exist is by the mere fact that we can think. And when we're awake, we can think. When we're dreaming, we don't think. We just get that sensory experience. So that's how he came to the conclusion that, yes, they are separate, but we can't really know for sure
where the cutoff is.
That's right. Only the fact that we think is we exist, and that's a famous line of his, of course.
Okay.
I think, therefore I am.
That's true. And we do a lot of thinking. It's the best thing we can do, rather than, it's just really great to sit there and think, don't you think?
Yeah, I think, I was talking about that. We got a piano actually just last week, and I find that the kids, because it's there, they just play it. And I said to him, imagine what it would have been like during Mozart's time. That's all you had.
Yeah.
No electricity, no TV. No wonder these people were so good at what they did.
The creators and also the philosophers.
That's right.
So
just
good.
Time for thinking. I say to my patients, find even 5 minutes a day, nothing else. You and your mind, it's wonderful. You discover lots.
Especially if you don't have any mental health problems like depression and anxiety. You are, sometimes if you've got them, you're thinking too much in the first place anyway, aren't you?
That's right. And with dreams, that's what happens. Our mind is sorting out a lot of the things that happen during the day. And so usually what we find is that despite these dreams being very surreal, and a lot of artists have created some wonderful works from their dreams, especially surreal artists, Cubists, and one of my favourite songs of all time by The Cure, Lullaby, was a mere dream. So there's been some wonderful work. It's still things that we know, even the faces that we don't recognise. Somewhere along the line, according to psychologists, we have seen those faces. Okay,
yeah, because we do see faces and it's like they're familiar in our dreams, but we've never seen them before.
Yeah, and we may have just crossed by someone when we're walking down the street. We might have seen a movie. There's a lot of sense, a lot of data coming into our heads. And actually, we've worked out that the brain works more when we're asleep than when we're not.
Wow, that is truly amazing, isn't it?
It's incredible. No wonder we dream. So it's still fascinating to find out why and how.
Yeah. And also, we hope they're happy dreams. Most of them are. For me, what about you? A few aren't.
Yeah, well, we've worked out it's about 50-50 actually. It's about 50-50, yeah. Our brain is very fair in that sense.
Yeah.
Gives us half of because that's what life is almost, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost like a mixture of
polarities.
Of happiness and the struggle. And so in when we're dreaming, of course, we have about 50% of that, and our brain tries to make sense of it. And of course, in Carl Jung, who was an amazing psychoanalyst, worked out that through our dreams themselves, we can actually find out the way we feel. And talking about mental health, it's very important in that field, in psychoanalysis, our dreams, because sometimes it taps into things that our conscious life, when we're awake and walking around, doesn't have the capacity to. So sometimes in our unconscious, through the dreams, so a therapist can work out some things that are happening, and that's
prompting
incredible.
us. It's prompting us. And we spoke about journaling last time, didn't we? So we could do dream journals.
I think it's wonderful when people tell me they have repetitive dreams, especially negative ones. The good ones are fine, let them come.
More. Bring them on.
We talked about that before we started the show.
We couldn't talk about what we were talking about.
We can't, but sometimes it is disappointing when you wake up.
It is.
Very disappointing. So, but the negative ones, it's great to wake up from. And I think what journaling does is takes it out from the unconscious to the consciousness. So you get yourself a little notebook and you write down that dream, the negative dream, put it down on paper, get it out of your unconscious into your conscious life. And the more you do that, the brain will be happier with it and give you that dream less. Yeah,
and you can probably even speak about those things to your psychologist if you need to, what's come up. And psychologists can help you interpret
yes.
if you have trouble with it.
There are some psychologists that specialise in that. Most psychologists try to avoid dreams because it's a little bit out of their depth, if you like.
More
because
philosophical.
It is a bit of philosophy and psychoanalysis. But all of us psychologists are very interested in it because whether we have different theories of them or not and what we believe about them, we definitely know that they have something to offer. Good on you, Carlos. One last question to you before we go out of our little chat here with a beautiful song. I can wake up from a dream and I can then go and put myself back into the same dream. Why is that? That's incredible. Not many people can do that, but we know some people can. Okay. You're very fortunate in a way. I think you seem to be connected well with your unconscious and you seem to have a good sense of your own self because, as we know, it does feel like dreams are random, but they're not really random. They're all to do with things that are happening in our lives. And everything we see has some relation. So what happens is that most people, once they fall asleep, they're disconnected from their unconscious, but you seem to have a certain connection there. And that's probably due to a lot of things that you've done yourself in your life, a lot of self-development and so forth. So some people are very capable of doing that. And through meditation and through other things, and in therapy through hypnosis, we're capable of connecting ourselves to that dream state. So it's great that you can do that. Yeah, it's actually fun. I don't put myself back into the bad dreams, only the good ones. Oh, of course. Well, thank you, Carlos. We were going to play a song, or you wanted a song from Marilyn Manson, but I thought we'd better not do that. Yeah, maybe it's not the right radio station. No. Maybe when I go into Triple J, and I might request that. You can do it there.